Hey, welcome back to another day of painting with Freckles. Today I'm painting another small portrait for you in oil paint, and I'm going to be showing the process from start to finish. You'll find the materials list of all the supplies that I'm using in the description box below. So if you want to print out the same photo I'm working with and make the exact same painting, you can. You just have to follow the link and print out the photograph, and then you can get started. And remember, if you enjoy these painting tutorials, then please give me a follow or a subscribe and leave a comment down below. Bye! Today I'm going to be painting a small portrait, and you guys can follow along as usual. I'm just going to go through quickly the materials that I will be using to transfer the image. So this is transfer paper, and the shiny black surface is the side of the paper that's going to go down. And the matte kind of grayish surface is the one that goes up. So you put the cutout of the photograph that you're going to be using on top of the matte side of the paper. And then you can just draw on top and you transfer your photograph perfectly to the oil painting paper or the watercolor paper that's below. You can, of course, draw it freehand if you're really good. I'm just not that good. And it's going to take me ages if I do it that way. So I'm just going to tape up the sides of the page. I think this makes it look so much cleaner and crisper when you're finished. So you put the paper with the black side down, you put your photograph on top, and then you sketch it out with a pencil or a pen or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then when you're finished, it should look something like this. So I'm just doing some extra shading here just to get in some more details, and this is an optional step, you don't have to do this. You'll find all the information about the palette that I'm using in the description box below, so you can go through and click and order each of the colors. But just to go through it quickly, it's burnt umber, as you see there at the top. That is burnt sienna. Then you have ultramarine blue, cadmium red, that's cadmium yellow deep hue, and the final color that I'm going to be using is titanium white. I'm going to be mixing my skin colors now, and what I do is that I just put the picture back so that I can see it, and then I'm going to try to mix the colors as accurately as I can. I'll just mix a few basic colors for the complexion, and I'll leave this at the speed that I'm actually doing it. I'm not going to speed up this step, so you'll actually see what colors I'm using and how much I'm using of each one. Feel free to skip over this step if you're not interested. I'm not going to be offended. this is what the colors are looking at the moment, and as you see, I've mixed the basic 4 different colors for the complexion, and I haven't used any mediums yet, so I haven't used any oil. What you see leaking onto the palette is just the oils from the oil paint itself, but if your paints are a bit dry, you can always add some linseed oil. And now I'm just going to start painting. I've got my reference photo in front of me and I'm looking at it, and then I start from the left side of the face and try to look at what colors that goes next to the one I put down. So is the color that is going to go next to the one I just put down, is it lighter or darker? And if it's darker, how much darker is it? I'm going to use the skin tones that I've mixed already, and then I'll add slightly more ultramarine blue and burnt umber if it's too dark. Not if it's too dark, if it's not dark enough, that's when I'm adding ultramarine blue and burnt umber to the mixture. I think that the key to successful portrait painting is that you're able to see colors and shapes in the places that they are, and that's something that's going to take practice. It's not something that you're necessarily going to manage on your first go or your 10th. I've been doing this for a few years and I still get it wrong a lot of the time, so don't be discouraged. It's something that we all have to practice. I keep looking at my reference photo that's on the left there, as you can see, and then I'm checking the colors against the reference photo, and then I'm just placing them down one after another, just quite systematically this time, from the left side of the face to the right side. You can put down all the same colors in one go, so you can use the darkest complexion color that we've mixed and put down all the darkest areas first, and then all the medium areas, and then all the light areas if you want to do that. I tried a different approach this time, which is why I'm moving from left to right.
do with their coffee grounds, and in fact, they pay the council to dispose of them.
We now collect from approximately 70 small chain and independent coffee shops in London, taking away their used coffee grounds and transforming them into our first range, which we call For the Love of Scrub. This range launched in November 2016. It's a range of 4 naturally scented, exfoliating coffee scrubs. Like all of our products, they are vegan, they're cruelty-free, and they are made in the UK. Our existing product ranges are stocked in the likes of Whole Foods, Planet Organic, As Nature Intended, and Topshop, and so far we have secured distribution in 8 European countries. We also have lots of other products to look forward to in the near future.
We are looking for £50,000 investment in exchange for a 2% share of our business, and furthermore, we would like to invite Dragons to help us, mentor us, and guide us, and help grow the business.
At this stage, I'd love to invite you to come to experience our coffee scrubs and try them out on hand.
For the lips, I'm using a mix of cadmium red and cadmium yellow, just to get that peachy red color. And then in the corners of the mouth, I've added a bit of ultramarine blue. And then I go in with highlights that are a very light pink, almost white. So I've used a tiny bit of cadmium red and just titanium white for this step, which is the highlights. To mix this background color, I've used some more red and yellow and then a bit of titanium white. And you don't have to do this step. You can do whatever color you'd like. You can do patterns, you can do paint splatters, you can do whatever, or just nothing. But I'm trying out something new, so this is how I decided to do it. And then after this, I'm gonna go in with some more titanium white just to create some life in the background. And I'm gonna try to add some heavier, like, what do you call those? Splatters? No, I don't know what those are called. I'm mixing in some oil painting medium. It's like a gel impasto medium. I will link it down below as well, just to give your oil paints a bit more thickness. And this is an optional step. You don't have to do this. Okay, so I saw this artist do this on Instagram, and I had to try it. That's just burnt umber mixed with a little bit of linseed oil, and yeah, that's it. Now I'm peeling the edges of the tape. I did this whilst it was still wet because I'm really impatient. You can definitely wait until the next day or the day after to do this, and just make sure that you don't have any paint on your hands when you're ripping off the tape, because that's such a pain in the ass. Yeah, this is my finished little piece, and this took me about 3 hours, I think. If you made it to the end of this video, then I'm very impressed, and I hope you'll subscribe and leave me a comment. Bye!